Hello YouTube, we're starting today's video from inside the house because I've got a lot of boxes to show you. Remember in the last video I said we're going to be upgrading all of the cooling. Well, this is it. We are going Airtec everything, and I'll get these boxes open and I'll show you exactly what we've got. Alright, so first let's just cover the boring box, right? This is not Airtec, this is an Aircon Rad. Now, let me just say, I know a lot of people are saying delete the Aircon when I explained in the last video how the Aircon Rad was disintegrating. Well, I like having Aircon. Yes, it's a track car of sorts, but it's also a track car that I want to be comfortable and enjoyable. I've done all the stripped out track cars raw. I've done it in the past, and this is how I want to do my car. I want to keep Aircon, I want to keep the luxuries, I want a fast, comfortable drivable car. So that's what I'm doing. If you want to delete the aircon on your car, you crack on, I haven't got a problem with it. But for me, aircon's going back on. Right, this is the Airtec oil cooler, and this is the full complete kit. And I've also got with it a thermostatic valve for the sandwich plate. So that means when the engine is cold, the oil doesn't run through the oil cooler. The engine has a heat up, and only then does the valve let it out, or the thermostat let the oil into the cooler. So that's the complete kit. We're going to go through all of fitting that. So that's going on. Let me show you what else we got. And the next thing we have is an Airtec own brand radiator. Now this is an upgraded radiator. At the moment they haven't actually got this available, so I'm going to be fitting this, and by the end of the video I'll be able to give you more details. If I don't include it in the video, it'll be in the description, and if not, contact Airtec, because at the moment this is not on their website. And last but by no means least, we have the big intercooler. Now I did have the Rsport Pro 400, that's now sold to my brother, so don't ask if that's for sale. But we switch into the Airtec because this one is double thickness down the bottom, so we've got a big chunk of extra cooling there. So that's basically all of the cooling stuff that we've got, and this should hopefully make the car sweet. Let's get out the car and let's start fitting. Right, so with my new Aircon condenser rad thing, I can never remember what it's called, condenser anyway, it's a pattern part, so it's not identical to the Ford. You can see a different shape along the top, and that's giving me a slight problem I'm going to have to tweak, because the gap here on the original is wider than this, and that has got to fit in there. So the standard one fits in tidy, but the pattern part don't. So I've just marked the points there, and I'm going to have to just open that gap so it slots in. But I think other than that, pretty much that should then go in. Slight little twist in the rad as well. But there you are, that's what happens when you buy a non-genuine. But genuine one was like 325 quid, and this one was 138, so yeah, hopefully it'll be okay. So what I'm going to try to widen this out is this screwdriver, big long one. I put it in, and if I just slowly turn and tweak along, you can see it's opening him up, and that should give us the gap we need to go through. So I'll have a little play around with that, but that's the idea what I'm doing anyway. So I think that might be enough here. I'll do the same both sides and it should slot in. It's a pretty bad copy, this Aircon Rad is. It's not the fault of the Airtec radiator, because this one wouldn't fit on the standard radiator either. It's just, yeah, it's a pretty bad design. Now you can see I've widened it out there, but I think that back bit now will hit on the back of the rad, so I might try and tap it up with a rubber mallet, because it's still not enough. My other option is to cut down this tab on the rad, but just bear in mind this is the problem of the copy part on the air conditioning unit. It's not a problem with the rad. So I'm going to work out what I'm going to do, which bit I'm going to cut or what, but I'll work it out. Like a glove. Surprising what you can do with a bit of a hammering and grinding. Let me show you. Fits nicely in there now. Shame we did have to tweak this rod, but there you are. That's in. And at the bottom, clipped in just nice. So we're all in as we should be. So now the plan is fit mine into the rad pack. Just realised actually I haven't given you a comparison of the two rads. Look, can you see the difference in thickness? So the Airtec one is obviously much thicker. Now I don't know if it's a double pass, triple pass. I'll try and find out before the end of the video, but I'm not sure. But Airtec will be able to tell you, so just contact them. But there's one little other thing we got to just sort out before we can put it into the rad pack actually. Right, so at the bottom of your rad, on the standard one and on this one, you've got your little drain bung that you've got to put in. So as you can see, that's got the retaining clips there, and I'll pop down and then clip over them. Now the one thing Airtec did tell me, that since this has been powder coated, it does make the tolerance a little bit tighter, so we are going to have to make a little tweak to actually get that to clip over tidy. Now I don't know what Airtec plan on doing with that, whether they will change the design slightly or whether they'll make sure this is prepped for you, but I'm pretty much like a test guinea pig, so I'm going to feed back this info to Airtec, and then these are little things that they're going to iron out before they're available to you guys to buy. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just grind down this top bit here, take a little bit of that powder coating off, and it'll allow that to sit down a bit further. Now I'm pretty sure you may not have to do this. Like I said, this is a bit of a test mule, so but that's what I'm going to do. I'm pretty confident that will fix in and make it nice and tight fit. Right, so just done a test fit in there, fits in the holes perfectly. I haven't put this on properly yet because I got a little bit of an idea of what I want to show you, which is, right, when the airflow comes through the front and it goes through the air condenser, it's got to then come through the rad, but there's obviously a gap between the air conditioning condenser and the radiator, so air can bleed out to the side and you can lose some of the flow through your rad. So I want to seal this up. I'm going to attempt to do it with some foil tape. So we're going to pull him back out. Now I know it all fits and everything's good, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to try my best to seal all of them gaps up. Right, so that's the tape I used. I'll admit it's not the prettiest, but as long as it does the job, that's all I cared about. So we've sealed that up all the way around. This is the type of tape they use in air conditioning actually to seal all the joints and everything, so it should do the job. It'll definitely be better than doing nothing at all. So as you can see, I've closed them all the way around, so every bit of air now that hits that has to pass through the radiator. Right, so just got to secure the rad in now. Put the rubber grommets in the bottom. We swap the little round circular ones at the top there, and now what you do is these little tabs, the little yeah, them things, pop that down, and then this then just slides in like that, and that will clip and hold your rad in. But by the time you get your rad out, you know exactly how you've got to put it back together. So that's it, all in secure. Just in case now, I'll put the fan on, now I'll clip straight in, and then I'm going to do some stuff then where I seal up the front gaps like I talked about earlier with the air between the two rods. I now want to seal the front so that the air has to go through here and doesn't bypass around from the front either. I'm complete on that. I've sealed them up lovely, so what I'm ready to do now is to start to put this onto the car. So I think what I want to do first though is get the crash bar on. When I took this off, I took it off in one. I've also got a broken repair I've got to do here. Now that's from when it was originally in an accident when I bought it, so the damage is still there and it's broke off more. I did put a big washer around it, but it sustained more damage now as I took it off. So I'm going to get that on, get the crash bar on, and then next job after that then will be intercooler. I change of plan. I've just realised I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to do the oil cooler while the front is off. So what I'm going to do now, this is all going to come off, this filter. We'll put a new filter on. The old oil cooler, because this one is cooled by water. This is like an oil heater, I suppose. So it uses the water system to sort of preheat the oil, I suppose, and also try and keep it at the same temperature as the water, but they're not not as effective as an air cooler, and that's another reason as well why we'll be using a thermostatic oil cooler, so it allows the oil to warm up, because if you didn't have that, the oil would be passing through the air rad for the oil cooler straight away, and then your temps just won't come up in the oil, and you need temperature in the oil. So anyway, let's get back to it. Let's whip this off and get ready to put the new stuff on. Access to your oil filter doesn't get better than this, and it's just as well, because I think Hercules tightened that up and I'm having trouble getting it to come off, so I'm gonna have to try and do something else to try and get it to lock on a bit tighter, because it's just slipping at the moment. But I managed to do it. I took a rubber mallet and I hammered, you gouge that in, but that is so tight, really tight. I would have hated to have done that. Normally, as you can see, I've punctured the filter, but it still doesn't want to bite. So that is so solid, that's incredible. That's how I think Hercules are on, you put that on. Filter off now, and the cooler has got a Allen head in it. It's 12mm I think it is. Luckily it's the largest one I got. I didn't think I was going to have one big enough, but that broke loose really easy. There wasn't a lot of tension on it, so whip him out now, and then that water cooler should come out. There it goes. This is a sandwich plate then, and this is the thermostatic one. So that's the thermostat that opens and closes and allows the oil flow through. So what you're going to do is put that on there, pass that through and bolt it on. Now I have heard a number of people complaining it's hard to get a socket to fit over there, but I'm pretty sure I can work something out. Right, so I've just gone out there with an 1/2 socket, and it's alright. I did have the one little slip, because it is tricky, and boy does that palm of my hand where my thumb is there holding it tight, and then just making sure you're careful applying the pressure to it. But I can't see it need mega amounts of torque on that, because you're sealing to a rubber seal, so I'm pretty sure that that's going to be alright. I've got a good tightness into it. There are instructions, so don't copy what I'm doing. Read the instructions and find your own way how to do it, probably the right way. Right, the two lines have connected up, and I've put the bracket onto the gearbox there, so it's just in case now I'm going to check this filter on. This was all part of the, remember the job lot of parts I told about? Well, the filter come with this, so I'll lob that on, put a bit of oil on the seal, and I'll try not to torque it as tight as the other one was. But yeah, so simple as that. Get that on, and then we can get back to where we was, which was the crash bar. You don't see that crash bar back on, that feels like a milestone. Front end is starting to come back together, so I'm pretty happy with that. What I've done as well off camera now is done the water pipe connection, because at first I forgot to do that. So now I'm at the stage I'm ready to pop this rad pack in. So now when I took that off, I removed everything at once, crash bar, all connected that, but I think I'll be able to lower it in, at least I think I can. I haven't done it before. I'll drop it down, lift it up, should do. Camera trike on me. Don't think that's going to work, you know. Try with the fan off. Nah, the bottom outlet's in the cold side, so I could take that off. Like a glove. Question is now, can we get fan down in there? Right, well, that was a struggle to get in. I had to concede and undo the crash bar, slacken it off and pull one side out. It was a faff. It took me a while, but lesson learned. Take everything off, because what you've got to contend with as well is, remember, the rad is also thicker, so you can't have your cake and eat it. I mean, if you're having a bigger rad, it's going to have a bit of a knock-on effect. It's going to be harder to get it in. So strip it all off, I would say, is the best thing. Also, down in there you've got like flaps that open on your rad cowling. Now they do serve a purpose, and what they do is when the fan is drawing air through, they obviously close so that the whole of the fan sucks air through more of the rad. I had one of them missing. I've had to take them out though because it's so close to the pipework that they'd all be trapped shut anyway, so they've had to go. But like I say, it's another trade-off. You can't have your cake and eat it. Something's got to give. So I think we can just have such good cooling anyway. I'm not going to worry about that. But anyway, I'm now back to bolting this back up. I've got to line it back up again, but pretty much we're getting it, making good progress. But I think I'm going to knock it on the head for tonight. It's getting dark now, so we'll pick it back up tomorrow. Right, so I'm putting the cold side pipe on, and I'm a slight positioning issue down there. It's just catching on the fan shroud, but that's something I can sort out. I'm just going to trim it back, so we'll get that back off. I'm just going to trim off the little corner of that, and it should allow it to line up, because at the moment now it's all a bit everything's a little bit in the way, it's a bit tight. Right, so there's the bit there, it's just this bit on the shroud, so I'll just take a bit off that corner. I've also had to adjust the fitting of the pipes, the bracket here, tilt that down, so you do have to do a little bit of jiggery pokery to get things to fit. But once you've got a radiator that's that fat, then you've got to expect that you've got to make some compromises. I mean, you can't have a huge radiator and expect it to not hit other things, but it's definitely something we can work around quite easy enough. So I've just got this little hacksaw like that. That's quite easy just to cut into that, so it won't take me no longer than 20 seconds I reckon to get through that. There you are, nearly done. That now should be just enough to make it clear. I think I may just take the edge off that one just to be sure. I don't even know if I need to, but I'll do it anyway while I'm here. So I'm just mocking up now with the intercooler, the oil lines, oil cooler, trying to work out how I'm going to do it all. Now the proper way that it's set to go is like that. But as you can see, with the big Airtec logo there, then we've got the small one on the oil cooler. They're going to clash and look a little bit odd, I think. So what I'd like to do is this. I'd like to put the oil cooler down here behind the intercooler. A couple of reasons why I'd like to do that. Mainly because most of the rad is over there, and there's the plastic area here which I could trim out to flow the air behind, but there's an issue with that plan. The shield goes over the top there, and it's fouling that, so it's not gonna work. Now I could put holes in the top there and the pipes to come down on that, but I don't know, I'm in a bit of a dilemma. Do I just fit there as it's designed to fit, or do I try and come up with a Stevie idea? So yeah, dilemma at the moment. I don't know what to do. And I think it'd look neat if it was behind there, but there's just no way I'm going to make it work for the pipes. The other issue is these pipes don't really want to reach all the way over there. I mean, I could tweak it from around the other side and make it work. I mean, it could go that side and the pipes would reach, but I still got a problem with this top cowl. And I don't want to butcher this, because that's all about directing and channeling the air that comes above you down into the rad. So there's no way we're going to lose that or destroy its efficiency. So yeah, that's my dilemma at the moment. What I've done now is I've taken off this bar to drill some holes, because I think I'm going to have to go down the conventional route, I think. Mount it in front. So yeah, I took that off. You could drill it when it's on there, but if it was to slip and go through the rad and shoot straight through the condenser rad, then you've got problems. So it's much easier just to remove it, and I just done it in my pillar drill that's over there. Right, so I'll bolt all this up now and I will see how everything looks. Right, so I formulated a plan, right, and that's going to go like that because it has to. but I'm not really happy with the logo. Now the one on the intercooler, you're only really going to see the A and the C, and I think that's going to look a bit stupid. That was pretty appropriate because I'm probably the only person who's trying to run AC on a track car, so I could leave it, but it just looks wrong. If that logo is at the bottom, this would be absolutely perfect, but I don't have a stencil to redo it or anything. I'm quite happy having the logo on it, but it just clashes. So what I'm going to do is bought myself a can of matte black, and I'm going to have to spray that over, but we'll be keeping the Airtec there. So yeah, it's the best solution I can come up with, really. I don't know what else to do, but yeah, I think it'll just end up looking a little bit better in the long run, so that's what you can do. Let's spray it. That does look better, doesn't it? I think you've got to agree. It was the right decision. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is bolt everything up. You've got to bolt them on here, then start marking the lines up, making sure we can get all of this shroud on and everything, and then just tighten it up basically. So yeah, I'm going to get cracking with that now, put the bolts in. We'll see how it looks when it's all connected up. I've spent a lot more time than I should have on lining up these pipes and cutting into this shroud part here. Now the instructions showed two lines coming up over here, up or through here and over there, through the plastics at the side here. I've decided to do mine this way, one of the hoses down through there and one around there. It just, because my hoses were equal length, but obviously one's travelling a further distance than the other, so that's why I put one around there to try and take up some of the slack. So we'll have a bit of tidying up to do down there, neaten them up, tie them together and put them out of the way. This is the cut that I've gone for. I've got them coming in that way. I don't want to destroy this completely, but it took quite a bit of time to actually get that to the shape it is. I'm going to clean that up so there's no sharp edges, and yeah, pretty much ready. And clip the sides on, and then I think I've got to put the brackets on, get some bolts or something up on there, because the spike comes up to the original place. I'll see if I can get something in the bolt hole underneath, because the only thing holding it at the moment is the top on my piece of wood wedged in there. So that's the next task now. We're pretty much going to be getting really close to where I can start this car up, because I've got to check it for leaks. So I'll have to leave it running for quite a bit, because obviously the thermostat's got to open for the oil to get through to this. Like, these are not fully tightened up yet. I just wanted to position everything and we'll crank it all up. So that's what I'm going to do now. Button up all the little details. Probably other stuff I've forgotten. And then get ready to fire it up and check for the leaks. Well, not check for the leaks. Hope there is none. Well, that is it, people. We are buttoned up. Well, I've just realised actually I grabbed two bolts there, but that's not essential now. What I want to do, fill it up with water. I've got 10 litres of deionized, so I'm going to fill it up with that. Oh, I remember one more thing actually. Now I'm looking at water. I got a pipe from here, got to run round to there. I got a brand new one, so I'm going to put that on, fill it up with water, and hopefully it'll start up and we'll have no water leaks and we'll have no oil leaks. Water is in, no antifreeze yet though, because I don't want to waste that. If we have any leaks, we'll just waste water. I've checked the oil. I know we're going to lose some more when we go into that, but it won't be enough to cause a problem. So just leaves now to fire it up and hopefully it starts and we don't have any issues. Right then, let's give it a go. Is that, have I got a problem now, or is our battery? It might be low battery actually. Oh, deja vu. Alright, I'm gonna go and hook up another battery. Alright, second battery hooked up. That's more like it. Let's check the dash. Looking good. No abnormal lights. Right, let's get outside and have a look. Right, check down here for leaks. Bottle looks okay. Can't see anything underneath at the moment. Right, so that's a good sign. I'll let it warm up and see how it goes then. Right, you will notice that the engine sounds quite rattly. And what it is, when I took all this top off to check the pumping it, and I forgot to put the insulation cover inside the rocker and over the fuel pump, so that's a lot quieter just when I touch it, but the engine's just going off high idle now. So let's check the dash. No, everything's still fine. Temperature's at 3 bars. So yeah, I'm not sure what temperature this opens, but I'll keep it running for quite a bit until I start to feel a bit of warmth in the pipes, and then I'll assume that the oil is flowing through it. Right, so fan is on. I've had it running for quite a while and no leaks. The oil cooler is not getting very hot. Oh, surprising, I really feel that pulling air through it actually. Even at the cooler, I can feel it sucking through the air from here, through the oil cooler. Anyway, can't find any leaks so far, and the oil is definitely coming through the cooler because I can feel the heat in the lines. It's all perfect. Really happy with it. See that, look, it's sucking the towel onto it. So much is pulling through. That fan is doing a good job. See if it cuts itself off and that falls. It's even holding on there, look. That fan's doing a good job. However, we know the air is flowing through all of them really good. Right, the fan is still chirping away. I've knocked the engine off now because the water needs a bit more topping up. But that's a successful job so far. So next task for me now is to get all the bumper on, get everything finished, get it roadworthy, and we'll do a road test, see what it feels like on the new engine. So thanks for watching this one. Thanks for Airtec for all of the cooling stuff. Hopefully I'll have none of the issues I had before. But that is it. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.